Hello everyone, welcome back to the session. In this session, I would like to give you some information on AWT of Java programming. Now let's see what is AWT. AWT is stands for Abstract Window Toolkit. Now in Java programming, we'll use AWT for creating graphical user interface, that is window based applications are developed using this AWT. Now this graphical user interface will contain some components like buttons, text area and so on. So all these are called as components, and these components are actually platform dependent. So if you are developing using AWT, it means that all the components of the graphical user interface will be based on the operating system only. Means for different operating systems the view will be in different ways. And AWT is called as heavyweight because its components are using the resources of operating system. So now let's see how to create the window based applications using AWT. Now, before that, we have to know AWT hierarchy. So, AWT hierarchy represents the different parts of AWT components. That is, the topmost is a component. Under that, we have a container. Under that, we have window and frame on one side. The other side, we have panel. Now, let's see all these in detail. Now, object is a main class, that is a super class of all the classes. In that object class, we have component class. Under that, we have all the remaining classes like button class, label, checkbox, choice, list, container. So these are all parts of component class. And in container, we have window and panel. So under window, we have frame and dialog, and under panel, we have applet. So these are the different components of AWT. So which is represented in AWT hierarchy. So if you want to create any graphical user interface, you need to have all like few of these components to be included. Now let's see how these components are included, and we'll be knowing what is the main component that should be always there and which should not be, like which is an optional one and so on. Now first of all, let's see all these components in detail. Like these are the components we have seen. Let's see their view in an example like this. Now we have a screen here. In the screen, this is called as a window. Inside that window, this is a frame which shows a frame here. So this blue color one is a frame, which is a top level container. Means this is the mandatory container that you need to have for developing any graphical user interface. So frame should be there compulsory. Inside that frame, you can add the remaining components whatever we have seen in the previous video. So this is a frame, and frame has some borders. It can be minimized, maximized and so on. Now inside the frame, you have panels kind of thing. So panel represents a particular area where you can include some set of components again. Now this frame is divided into two panels, that is two partitions, which are represented by dotted rectangles here. Next thing is, inside the panel you are including some components, and if you'll observe the components which are represented using different icons here, the bottom panel has three buttons here. Buttons will be like this. So these button is one component. Next is a label. Label is an area you can represent it with some text. So we have a label. Label is one component, and also some text field where you can type some text here. So these are the different components that we are going to use now: label, text field, button, frame, panel. So if you'll observe the hierarchy, we have label, button, and inside that we have a label, we have a text area. All this will be included here. So frame is mandatory. So inside that frame only you are going to implement all this, include this all these components. Now let's see a small program. So all these are the description about that particular components. Now let's see how to create a simple AWT. Now, to create any AWT example, we need to have a frame first. So first frame should be there. Inside that frame, we are going to include all the components. Now, how to create that frame means we have two ways. The first way is by extending the frame class, means already a frame class will be there, which is predefined. Now we have to extend that frame class. So extending is nothing but you are using inheritance concept. The other one is by creating the object of frame class, that is using association. So frame class will be there. You have to create the object for that class. So we are going to use two methods, by extending frame class and by using the object of frame class. Now we will be using these two. For example, let's see the first one. This is the first example to create an AWT simple frame. So here I'm creating a frame by extending the frame class, means I'm going to use this first method. So I'm extending the frame class. Now for that, let's see how it is done. First thing, and I'm importing the package called java.awt.star. So to create this AWT window based applications, that is graphical user interface, first of all you have to import the package called AWT. In that we are going to use some classes, so that's why I didn't mention that particular class. I just kept it as star, means all the classes of that package we are going to use java.awt star. Now next thing is I'm taking a class. My class name is simple example, which is extending frame class. So this is first method, extending the frame class. I'm just extending the frame class. So if you're extending, what does it mean is whatever is there in frame class, I can access that through this particular class. Now here in this class, what I'm doing is I'm I'm adding the button. So I'm taking the object for my button class. So we have learned initially that all the components of the AWT hierarchy are actually classes. So if you have to include them in your frame, you have to create the object and then you have to include in the frame. Now here this button class object I'm creating. So button b is equals to new button, and button name I'm writing here as button to exclamatory mark. So means you can write any name on the button, so that will be displayed over the button. So I'm writing some name here. So one button is created using the button object b, and its name is button. Next thing is this button, that is b, is set. We are setting some bounds for this button, means how this button should look like. So I'm giving four parameters here. What are these four parameters mean is, here just observe, for setting bonds you are giving four parameters. What are those? X-axis, y-axis, width and height. So you are representing its x-axis position, y-axis position, its width and height, means width of the button and height of the button, and where exactly you have to place means based on the x-axis and y-axis value. So these four values are used for setting the bounds of a button. So I'm writing b dot set bound. So for button you are setting the bounds. Next thing is this button, whatever you have created, should be added to the frame. So I told that frame will be there. For frame you have to add all those one by one. So we are adding one by one. So we have created only button. So that button I'm just adding that to frame. So simply use the method called as add. So add of b means b will be added to the frame. Next is, for the frame I'm setting the sizes. So using the method called set size. Now set size has two values, that is width and height, representing width and height. Means if you'll just observe the previous diagram, so this frame here, the blue color one, has some size here. So this size I'm indicating as width and height. So first parameter is width, second parameter is height. So those two values I'm representing in set size. Next is set title. So any frame will have I mean, it's not mandatory. You can give the name to the frame like this. This is my first AWT example. So this is my title. Let's see the output first. See here. This is the frame actually that is created here. Now this frame has a title over it here. This is my first AWT example. So I have given the title here itself in the method called set title. So frame is given some name. and size we have declared like width and height. So size of a frame is decided 500 into 300 size. Next is set layout. So we'll be discussing about layouts in our next coming videos. Layouts are actually indicating the arrangement of components inside the frame here. So if you have too many components, you can decide which component is placed at what location. But here we have only one, so I'm just ignoring the layout. So for that I've just written it as null. So set layout null means I'm not using any layout manager here. And next thing is whatever the frame you have created, I've given the name, I have some size. Now I have created a button, I have added to the frame. Next thing is you should make this frame as visible. Otherwise it will not be visible. So for that you have to use a method called set visible. Inside that use the uh, uh, parameter as true. So by this the frame will be visible. Next is this is about my simple example class. I'm writing a main method outside this where I'm creating the object for my class. So that is simple example is my class. For that I'm creating the object. So when I'll instantiate my class, immediately it will go to this class and it will execute entire part. So this is how your frame will look after the execution. So this is using the first method whereby you are extending the frame class. Next is before going to the second one, let's see the important points. Already we have seen few of them. So as I told, for setting the bounds of any component, you'll be giving four values. That is x-axis, y-axis, width, and height of that particular component. Next thing is we are giving two attributes for frame. One is set size and set visible. Set size indicates the size of your frame. Visibility indicates whether you'll make your frame visible or not. If you'll write true, your frame will be visible. If you'll write false, your frame will not be visible. And next thing is any component that you are creating that should be added to the frame. So in the previous example, we have seen button component was created using its object, and then it was added to the frame using the method called add. So if you're creating button, a button should be added. If you're creating some label should be added likewise. So using the method called add components object. And next thing is you have a method for resizing the frame that is called as set resizable true. Means using this you can change the size of your frame that you have created. Otherwise it will be by default in the same size that you have created. So these are the main points that you have to remember while creating the frame. Now we'll see the next method of creating the frame. So the previous method was using extending frame class. Now the second one is using object of the frame class, that is create a um, frame by creating instance of frame class. Now this is the second method. Now let's see how to use this second method to create the frame. Now just observe again, I'm importing the same package. Next thing, I'm taking a class. My class name is first2. Inside that first2 I'm writing the content here. Now just observe, I'm creating a frame here. Previously what we have done is we were extending the frame class, so you need not create any frame here. By default you can include that frame here just by adding your components to the frame. But here we are not extending the frame class. So for that what you have to do is, first of all you have to create a frame object for. So I am writing frame f is equal to new frame. So by this your frame object will be created. So after frame object is created means your frame is created now. So for that I'm creating a button now. So means next I'm creating a button using button object for button class. Button b is equal to new button, and button name is here click me. Now for button that I'm setting the bonds, like we have seen four parameters just now. So for setting the bonds of a button, you have to write b dot set bonds because b represents button. Next is f dot add. That is, what does f represents? We have seen that f is nothing but frame. Now f dot add b means the button whatever you have created, that is added to the frame now. So previously we have just we just wrote add of b, but here you should write it as f dot add of b. Next is f dot set size, means you are setting the frame size. Next you are setting the layout of your frame. Next you are setting the visibility of your frame. So like this you have to create the frame using creating the instance of frame class. And then the main and in the main method for my class I'm creating an object by which this class will be called. So this is the second method. So we have learned two methods to create the frame. One is by extending frame class. The other one is using instance of frame class. Now let's see how to add different components for this AWT frame. Now first let's see how to include this label. Now I want to add the label to that particular AWT to that particular frame. So label is nothing but a particular name kind of thing. So that I have to include in the frame. So first let's see the output so that it will be easy for you to understand. So this is my frame and my frame name is label example. And in the frame you have two labels. If you'll observe, labels are just names kind of thing, so you can't edit them. They are just like stickers. So you have two stickers here, first label and second label. So in this program we are going to add two labels to my frame whose name is label example. Now let's go to the program here. Now in this program I've included the package, then my class name is label example, and in the main method I'm creating the frame here. Now for creating this frame I'm using the second method, that is I'm creating using object method. I'm creating the object for frame class. So frame f is equals to new frame and my frame name is a label example. So here itself I'm giving the name label example. So I've created the name. Next is I'm declaring two labels, L1 and L2. Next, L1 is the first label. So I'm creating that as L1 is equals to new label whose name is first label. So here I'm writing L1 is equals to new label and the name is first label. And for L1 I'm setting the bonds, 4 parameters I'm giving. Similarly, L2 is equals to new label and name of the new second label, and I'm setting the bonds for second label. And now I've created two labels, L1 and L2. These two labels should be added to the frame. So for that I'll write f dot add L1, f dot add L2. So L2 label is added to frame, L1 label is added to the frame. So next thing I'm setting the size of frame using the method called set size. Next setting the layout, next setting the visibility. So this is how you'll include the labels to your frame. So your output is this one. So it's very simple to understand. Next, let's see how to include text area. So text area is nothing but it's a box where you can write some a line of text. Uh, let's see the output here. Sorry, text area means you can write some number of lines of text. It will be like this. If you'll observe this, you have a frame here. Now inside the frame you have some area where you can write some number of lines of text here. Now for this, let's see how to create this and how to include that in the frame. Now again, in this class, what I'm doing is I'm creating the frame using the second method. Frame is f is equal to new frame, and I'm creating the text area using the object called area. So text area object area is equal to new text area, and the text area you are writing some text that welcome to Java point, and I'm setting the bounds for that area. So this if you'll observe, this area has some bounds. So this highlighted area has some bounds. For that area you can set the bounds like this and add this area to the frame and set the size of this frame using set size method. And next setting the layout, next setting the visibility, and I'm creating the object for my class called as text area example. So this is how you'll include the text area in your frame. So this is very simple. Now let's see how to include the text field for our frame. So text field is actually which allows only to write a line of text. Now let's observe the program output here. I have created a frame. In name of the frame is text field example. Now in this frame you have two text fields here. So one line I've written welcome to Java Point. The other line I've written AWT tutorial. Now, in this one, just observe here. I'm creating a frame and frame name I've written, and here I've written, I mean, text frame name, and then text field. Text field I'm declaring like T1 and T2. Then you have T1 is equals to new text field. So I'm creating here. So first is T1 whose name is this one, and I'm setting the bonds for first one. The next field I'm creating name is given and setting the bonds for that. Then I'm adding this T1 to frame, T2 to frame. So I'm adding both the text fields to frame. Then I'm setting the sizes of that frame, and layout is null, visibility is true. So this is how simply you can include text field for your frame. Next is, let's see how to create the checkbox. So first of all, let's see what is a checkbox. Checkbox will be something like this, where options will be given. You can put a tick mark for enabling that. Means this kind of option you'll call it as checkbox. So checkbox also are is a one of the component which can be used in GUI. So let's see how it is included in the frame. Now, if you'll observe here, I've created a frame. The frame name is checkbox example. Inside that we have two checkboxes, C++ and Java. Now let's see how it those two are included in the frame here. Now here, just observe in my class example, I'm creating a frame. mm, Frame f is equal to new frame, frame name. Then I'm creating two checkboxes. First one is checkbox 1 is equal to new checkbox, means this is my object, first checkbox object, and name is C++, and for that I'm setting the bonds. Next is second checkbox I'm creating, and the name is true. Sorry, name is Java comma true. True indicates that it is enabled now. Next, bonds. Next, I'm adding the checkbox to the frame, second checkbox to the frame, and I'm setting the size of frame, setting the layout, visibility as true. So, and in the main method, I'm creating the object for my class. So, this is how you'll include the checkbox in your program. Now let's see the last one, that is list. So let's see how to include the list in your program. First of all, let's see what is a list. Now if you'll observe the diagram here, you have a frame. Inside the frame you are displayed with some set of items here. Out of this you can select any one of them. So this option you will call it as list. So the list component is included in the following manner. Just observe, frame f is equal to new frame. So I have created a new frame. For that frame, I'm including list into that. So for that, I'm creating the list object, that is list L1 is equal to new list 5. So here I'm declaring the size of list also. So here, so whatever the list you have created, it has a drop down menu here. Not drop down actually. It's some area where some number of items will be displayed in that particular list. So how many items you are displaying means based on the size. So while creating the list itself, I am declaring the size. So L1 is a list whose size is 5. Now L1 size should also be mentioned, like how much width, how much height. So this particular area gives you the size of that. Now those four parameters I have given. Next is, now I've declared 5 is the size. So 5 items you are going to include. So for those 5 items are added like this using the method called add. So item 1 add to L1. So that is in L1 list you are adding item 1. Again in L1 list adding item 2. So on 5 items. So you have added all the items to L1 first, that is to the list. Now list should be added to the frame, and frame size, and frame layout, frame visibility, and your object of your class. So this is about creating the list in AWT. So output will be something like this. Okay, in this session we have learned what is AWT, what are its components, its hierarchy, and then we have seen some programs how to include the components into the frame. So first of all, we have seen how to create a frame using two methods. One is using extending the frame class, the other one is using object of the frame class. So I hope everyone understood AWT in this session. Thank you all.